It's Beth Maitland from Drama Queen Bee Quilts, and I've had another question. Can I cut out more than one layer of quilting pieces at a time when I'm constructing my quilt? First of all, you're using a cutting mat and a rotary cutter and a ruler, and my quilting friend wants to know if she can stack fabric and cut out more than one at a time. My answer is based on two schools of thought. My yes answer has to do with this. When the pieces are relatively small and you can keep them under control, and you can keep kind of the pressure down with your ruler on your cutting mat and use your rotary cutter kind of smoothly, you can usually cut up to 4 or 5 pieces at a time. You'll have to try it to see. But there is some shifting. The more layers of fabric you have, there's a little bit of shifting. So usually that works best on smaller pieces. If you're cutting large strips or long strips for borders or sashing or strip piece construction, I don't know if I would do it. That's the other school of thought. That answer is no. If you have larger pieces that are harder to keep under control, that you have to move your hand down your ruler to cut all the end of one particular cut with your rotary cutter, that is a lot of room for error. The longer the piece is, the further you have to go inch by inch with inching your hand down that ruler, and the longer your cut is, the more chance that those pieces will slide. And I might try a layer of 2 layers at a time, but I would measure them when you finish cutting to make sure that those pieces didn't slide at the long edge. So the answer is yes. For small pieces, up to 4 or 5 at a time, you can cut pretty accurately. Go slowly, concentrate, make sure that your pressure is equal so that if you're letting up the pressure at the end of your cut, that can slide that fabric. So make sure your pressure is equal as much as possible. And if there's any doubt, measure both ends of that piece when you're finished cutting and make sure everything is as accurate as you wish it to be. Once you start sewing those pieces together and start constructing your complicated block, you're going to regret it if those pieces aren't the right size, top to bottom. And so the opposite answer for the no side is, if it's a longer piece, a bigger piece, I don't think I would risk more than 1 or 2. And that way you can make sure that when you get to the construction phase, you don't have any frustrations in the future compiling those blocks together and making your quilt either inaccurate, higher on more measurement on the top than there is on the bottom, or angles are also a big problem when your measurements are off. So if you can sew a straight 1/4 inch seam and make sure that those pieces are lined up and it's accurate all the way down the seam, and if you can start with very accurately cut pieces, you'll never have a problem in your construction. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that answered your question. It's Beth Maitland with Drama Queen Bee Quilts. Come and see me online, www.bethmaitland.com, and email me through my website with any questions you'd like me to answer. Thank you very much for joining me, and let's get quilting.